Of course, today is the last day of the festival. That's the last day. I'm so happy that we finally got to the end of this feast. But if you look at that Jubilees chapter 10, you can clearly see the head of the demon. Afia, name is Mastama. The head of the demons was praying there, and he begged the Most High to allow some of the demons to remain, and they allowed the demon to remain. The Most High allowed 10 part of them to remain. Another place is the book of Revelation. If you remember in Revelation chapter 20, it tells you that during the 1,000-year reign, Satan will be locked up, right? Satan will be locked up during the 1,000-year reign. So I will stop deceiving the. Notice something. Notice something. This demons is about deception, right? That Revelation chapter 20, it talks about how Satan will be locked up to prevent him from deceiving people during that 1,000-year reign. But that 1,000-year reign is Sabbath. It's basically Sabbath, long Sabbath, for 1,000 years. So this is all consistent. And then it says that after that 1,000 years, that Satan will be released again to continue deceiving people. So what type of deception is this? My brothers and sisters, let me tell you something. It is not the type of deception that you think. It's not that type of deception. It's not that type of deception. The deception we're talking about here, the type of deception that the Most High assigned Satan to do. By the way, we're studying about Satan, the demons and Satan, to have a biblical understanding. Can you go to 2 Chronicles chapter 18, from verse 18? Let me show you the type of deception that they do. It's not the way you think. It's not that type of deception that you think. This is very different. I will show it to you exactly where the Most High sent His Spirit to deceive somebody. We'll see that, and then I will also now show you what we're seeing today, because it's happening to you and I. It has happened to us. That's why He sent the Gentiles to us. They came with the same style of deception. So, if you want to play smart and play game with the Most High, if you want to pretend and play game, He will now fill your head with deception, with confusion. That's exactly what's happening to us. That is what they do. But let's see something like that in 2 Chronicles chapter 18 from verse 18. If you remember, I told you that the Most High have regular meetings in heaven with the angels. And along the attendees is also Satan. Because Satan has the responsibility. He works for the Most High. He doesn't work for himself. Satan has no power of his own. Satan is not who you think he is. Satan is not bad. Satan is evil, but the Most High created evil. He told you that. I create good, I create evil. He said in the book of Isaiah. So, Satan is not who you think he is. Satan is not even your enemy. Satan doesn't care about you if you're keeping the commandment. He doesn't care about you. You're not his target. He only cares about those who don't want to obey the Most High. That's all. That's who he deals with. Didn't he tempt Christ? And then he walked away. Yeah. Your attitude and your behavior is supposed to be the way that Christ responded. He was tempting Christ to disobey the Most High. Christ refused. Satan went away. He only deals with those who don't want to obey the Most High. They are the ones that he deals with. You shouldn't be binding Satan, casting Satan, doing all that nonsense, childish thing. Stop doing that.
But he said we should resist him.
How do you resist him then? How do you resist him?
Resist the devil.
But how do you resist? So how do you do that the resistance? How do you resist?
Cast you out.
How?
Get out of me.
No, that's not the way you resist.
How do we?
Did you hear Jesus say in Luke chapter 4, I bound you, I cast you? He didn't say that.
He said to Peter, "Get out of me, you Satan."
Yeah, because that's why I told you that human beings is actually Satan. That's why Christ called Peter Satan.
Ah. He said he prayed
If
for
you notice,
Satan.
everything I'm telling you is in the Bible.
I know.
If
but
you notice, I may not quote the Bible when I say it, but it's there.
I know. He said he prayed for Peter.
Mm.
That Satan want to sift it away like something.
Yes.
That he prayed for him.
So he now resisted Peter now, and said, "Get away from me!" Right? He told Peter.
And now he said, "Satan, oh okay, you Satan, get up, get behind me."
So why didn't he say the same thing to Satan when Satan himself was talking to him in Luke chapter 4? Why didn't he resist Satan by binding him and chasing him away? If you notice, Christ was just insisting on the law of the Most High. Period. He was insisting on what the Most High said. And Satan walked away. Satan only tempts and deals with those who don't want to obey the Most High. That's all. You see, what Eve could have done, Eve could have just told Satan. If I tell you that the Most High sent Satan, you may think it's a crazy thing.
Say that again.
If I tell you that the Most High sent Satan to that garden, you may say no. But then if you say no, then I will ask you, is the Most High in charge or not? Does he know everything or does he not know everything? We have to choose one. You cannot say that the Most High knows everything and he's in charge of everything, and you also say that he didn't know when Satan came.
Okay, the question about the garden is that
Yes.
it wasn't the woman that was given the instruction.
Yes.
The woman was not there at the time.
Yes.
So why would they send the Satan to the woman if God is not intending for them to fail?
No, God did not.
Because woman did not receive instruction.
No. Yeah, that is why. The fact that he was not the one that he received the instruction from her husband.
From her husband, it's passed down.
Yeah, but he was supposed to listen to her husband. He's supposed to listen to her husband. What she could have done, very simple. He will allow Satan to talk. Satan will talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. He will thank Satan. Say, "Thank you very much for your advice. But my husband told me not to touch this thing." Simple. Satan can never take her hand and go bring that thing down. Do you understand?
They will just say Satan, go and
No, he didn't even have to. No, he didn't even have to say anything. You just thank him and say, "Thank you for advising me. But my husband told me not to touch this thing." Simple. That was all she could have done. But she didn't do it.
Okay, why will it be that woman is target? Why not the man? The man that received the law, eh?
Why not the man?
Why not the man? The man was the one that received instruction. You know what that woman
do you know that the Most High sets traps for us or tests us? You know that, right? It's in your Bible. Deuteronomy chapter 8. He said that he tested Israel when they came out. He made them to become hungry. He allowed them to be hungry. And hungry was firing them to test them. Okay. When Satan came into the garden, the man was also being tested. You see, when Adam came back, there was something I told somebody years ago, an old friend of mine, Brother Linwood. There's something thank you, brother. Thank you. Sorry I made you stand up. There's something I told Brother Linwood. But this thing I told Brother Linwood, nobody told me this thing. I never hear it from anybody. And I still have never heard it from any man till today. I told Brother Linwood, and I tell people, that Adam was weak. Adam was the weak man.
where will God create a
Adam, I'll tell you why he created a weak man. I'll tell you why. The Most High gave us choice. You know what you do with choice? Ability to choose. You can choose to start shouting now, or you can choose to keep quiet. Somebody can slap you. You can choose to respond or not to respond. You can choose to be weak or you choose to be strong. Does that make sense? He gave us choice. The Most High did not create robots. Now, watch a dog. If you have a dog or goat or sheep, the Most High put the same choice inside of them. If when you see a goat walking around, nobody is pressing that goat with remote. That goat has self-will. He has self-will. Like my neighbor's sheep here. His sheep does not stay in robes, in like a normal sheep. His sheep has 2 babies now. If you open this gate now, you see them in front of that place. Sometimes they go down. Evening time, they come back and enter that compound. Evening time, they come back. So why can't they just walk away and walk away? Why can't they get lost? This sheep will go around. After eating, they come back. Then I have another neighbor down there that owns the hotel. He has this thing that looks like a guinea fowl. The guinea fowl that you see here. That guinea fowl he used to keep them there, isolated. But now he just open it in the morning and they will start walking around. They will come all the way to this place and then they walk back and go back to that place. So who tells them to go there? Was it a remote control? No. That is that self-will that the Most High put on everything that He created for us to make a choice. It's a choice. I used to have chicken here. The chicken right now, if you get a chicken in this compound, normally we put a stick, a rope on the leg so they can be walking around. After about a week or 2, do you know that if you take that chicken every evening, when you bring it new, every evening you go to that wall and you keep it there at night. In the morning they will come out. In the evening you take it and go keep it there. You do this for about 1 week and you remove that stick. In the evening that chicken will go there. That chicken will never go and sleep any other place. Every evening you will go to that place. So when you bring that chicken in this compound, anywhere you take it and keep it every night, do it for about a week. Once you let that chicken free, in the morning time you will go around, in the evening around 6, you will go exactly where you used to keep it and you will sleep there. He considered that place to be his house. So we human beings, the Most High put the same free will in us. So Adam made the wrong choice. Adam was a weak man. Adam was supposed to, when Adam came back and Eve had disobeyed, Adam was supposed to become angry. This world would have been a different place. If Adam became angry at his wife, what he should have done is to become angry, show disagreement. Why did you do this? I told you not to touch it. Blah, 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 blah. If he had done that, our case in the world today would have been different. Because by him speaking out and showing his disapproval, the Most High is not going to hold him responsible. Because he wasn't there when Satan came. He came back and he saw that his wife had disobeyed and he showed disagreement. Things would have been different. But when he came, he didn't do that. He came. You told the woman that you married and she's in the house and you left. You told her not to do this. When you came back and she did it, you came back and she did exactly what you told her not to do. And what do? You entertain it. You actually like join her in doing that thing that the Messiah told you not to do. You join her. Adam was the very first weak man. And I warn men, don't be like Adam. Don't be weak. Do not be weak. One of the rubbish we got from the Gentiles, our women's head have messed up. Sometimes some of you wonder, brother, why can't you marry? Brother, why can't you marry? Marry who? Who am I going to marry? Who?
Woman now.
Which woman? Which one?
Woman that God created.
Woman that God created. Which one is the one that God created?
Maybe we can see what Mama gets.
Which woman?
Oh, Brother Maya, don't go that area.
Ancient women. Like you see in your Bible. They see their husband like their Lord. Yeah. If their husband say, please don't touch this, they will never touch that thing. You can never convince them. Modern woman, you tell her, don't touch this. She will ask you why. Why?
You are right.
And this is enabled and powered by the Gentiles. This man, when he came back, he wasn't supposed to join. That is, he was weak. And listen, the Most High will forgive Adam, but he will never forgive you and I. The Most High will forgive Adam. Do you know why? Because he has no example. Exactly. You and I have an example. Exactly. A man is not supposed to be weak.
Yes.
Any woman that will not allow you to rule over her, leave that woman. Yes.
What kind of rule?
Rulership. Rule means that rule the same way that you were ruling your children when they were young. Can your child go and do whatever they want when they are small? Rule is that when you tell them what to do, when you give them rules, this is how we do this in this house. This is how we do things. This is how we rulership.
Boss. Can we say boss?
Simple, like whatever I stand for, whatever I like, whatever I follow, like me right now. Ancient women, when they come to their husband, they have no agenda. They have no career in mind. They don't know, they don't like anything. They don't, whatever their husband likes is what they will start liking. Whatever the husband, that's how it used to be. Now, you're asking me what is that rulership? It's not complicated. Very simple thing. We have a situation today. Simple husbands and wives argue over nonsense. Simple things. Simple things. I would like this to be done. The wife will say no. The wife will say no, not that way. Do this. She will say no, not this way. That's what I'm talking about. And listen, let me tell you something. According to the book of Sirach, that's actually a punishment to men. The Most High is the one that have made men to be. The Most High is the one that have made women to be disobedient. It's in the book of Sirach. The Most High is the one that have men. So I blame women for being disobedient, but I blame them entirely. Because the book of Sirach tells you that a wicked woman is given to a disobedient man. A woman that, like a woman who is stubborn, who is unsubmissive, the Bible says that she's a gift to a lawless man. So if I don't want to submit myself to the Most High, if I do not want to submit myself to Him and do His will, why would I expect a woman to come and submit to me? Does that make sense? You understand?
Okay.
Do you understand?
No.
If I like the Most High say, a man should not shave out all his beard. I shave out all my beard. The Most High say work for 6 days, rest on the 7th day. I don't do that, but I want a woman to come and submit to me. It doesn't work like that. So the Most High, the Spirit of the Most High, have made it in a way that, like the Bible says in the book of Sirach, that a wicked woman is given to a lawless man. So when you see, if you notice something in this time that we live in, notice that if you go backward to 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you see the way you behave and the way you think. Most women today doesn't think like that. Like when you wanted to come, I think there was a feast that you wanted to come. Your husband said no. A modern woman will not do that. A modern woman will come, whether her husband agree or not. She will come. So those type of the women that think the way you think, they are no longer around. What you see today are not women. These are just females. They are not. They don't know how to be a woman. They are not trained on how to be a woman. So a man that does not submit to the Most High should not expect a woman to submit to him. And the Most High have designed it in a way that if you do not submit to the Most High, your wife will not submit to you. That's why the Bible tells you that a wicked woman is given to a lawless man. And most of us, most men, we live a lawless life because we did not know. We did not submit to the Most High. So the women automatically, that's why I tell men, you see, I tell men this. You can go deep inside northern Nigeria and find a Muslim woman and bring her out and marry her. As long as you do not submit to the Most High, that woman, one day she will give you a slap. The day she will slap you. You will not expect it. So if you think that you can go deep inside the bush somewhere and find a local woman and bring her out, that spirit will come upon her. It's a spirit of disobedience. Spirit of disobedience. The Most High has different types of spirits. Spirit of lies, like we're going to see in 2 Corinthians chapter 18, from verse 18. The spirit of lies, lying spirit. You have a spirit of disobedience that can come upon somebody. There's also spirit of obedience that can come upon somebody. So the Most High have allowed those spirits. There's so many spirits in the world today, and they can possess somebody. And you're wondering, there's somebody I know. There's somebody I know that was like that. All of a sudden, it was a spirit of disobedience. You know that it can change somebody. I told these people about the other one that died. Someone else that I know that died. The same thing. She had the spirit of disobedience. Eventually, she was being taken over by the spirit of obedience, although that she died. So, the Most High has different type of spirits. Coming back to Adam and Eve, Adam was weak. Men are not supposed to be weak. Men are supposed to be able to rule their family. What rulership are we talking about? Being able to enforce the law of Yah in your home. Being able to make sure that the law of the Most High is followed in your home. That's all. That's all. There's nothing else. That's what that relationship is all about. Yes. Yes.
If the Most High gave a wicked woman to a lawless man, who am me that I have a lawless husband? Am I wicked? I'm not. So that's
Okay.
number one.
Yeah.
Two, what about a man that is keeping a law? If it is God that is giving a wicked woman a lawless, it should then give a good woman to someone who is not lawless.
Okay, so use yourself as an example.
Yes, I'm not wicked.
When your husband married you, was he keeping the law?
No.
Were you keeping the law?
No.
So many of us end up with people that we shouldn't end up with, because from the beginning we didn't know things we know now. We did not know the truth. We were Christians.
Yes.
The truth is that the things you know now, if you knew it 40 years ago, maybe this man that married you will not have been your husband.
Maybe, yes. Maybe.
I mean, if you know the things you know now, and he's exactly who he is now, a hardcore Christian, you know, you may say no, right?
Yes, I will say no.
Yeah, so that's how we ended up living with those that we live with today, because of how we started. We didn't know the things we know now back then. So it's not that the Most High rewarded you, gave you that man as a punishment, because remember where you came from. Back then, you didn't know these things. Do you understand? So what you now do is that if you find yourself in a situation like this, it is now up to you to be, that's what Paul talked about in First Corinthians chapter 7. If the person is willing to tolerate your new way of life, if they're willing to tolerate it and they're not going to be bothering you, then stay with them. That's what Paul was saying in First Corinthians. But if they're going to be interfering and trying to make you choose between them and living a holy life, then in that case you have to say no. But if they tolerate you and they're willing to tolerate, then yeah, sure, live with them. Yeah.
So a righteous man will also be given a righteous woman. So it shouldn't be difficult for a righteous man to find a righteous woman. Because it's God that is giving a wicked woman to a lawless. It should be the same God will give a good woman to a righteous man. What happened?
Yeah, so again, I would say the same thing with man. With a man who is righteous now, but he got married 25 years ago.
He has not married. He's still looking for a righteous.
Okay, let's say for example, in terms of looking. Okay, so now, let me first of all finish with the man who is righteous now.
Yes.
But he got married 25 years ago or 10 years ago. And what he knows now, he didn't know back then. It's almost the same thing. You're already living with that person. Maybe you already have children. The only thing you can do is to just keep on tolerating.
No, you're supposed to use his power on top of that, rule over that woman now that he knows. He should not be using his authority.
Yes,
And his power.
You should be using
now that he knows.
You should. That's why I told you what do we mean when we say rulership? It's simply making sure that the law of the Most High is followed in your house. That's all.
Yeah, so every man is able to carry their woman along, whether they just get to know the law or they knew it before. They should rule over.
Yeah, they should rule over. A woman that has the spirit, that spirit is a spirit that the Most High have poured out. Like in the book of Joel chapter 2. He said in the last days that he will pour out his spirit, right? The Bible said that. Later days I will pour out my spirit. And your sons and daughters will prophesy and see dreams. So there's a line in the book of Joel chapter 2 that he will pour out his spirit. So the Most High does not only pour out good spirits, only he pour out bad spirits. So he has poured out the spirit of disobedience. That's why most women are disobedient. So coming back to the other point of what about say for example someone like me now, I would say that I am trying to be righteous. If I say that I'm 100% righteous, then that means that I have arrived. No, I don't see myself like I have arrived. I see myself that I still have so much to learn. I still have so much to change. I see myself as a student. So I'm always begging the Most High to please teach me things that I don't know, that I need to know. And if there's something that I know that I'm not supposed to know, please, I don't want that thing. So I'm always in a student mode. So I wouldn't say that I'm entirely righteous, because I want to be more righteous. I want to be more holy. Okay. If that's the case, as I don't have a wife now that I don't have a wife, and I am keeping the law, and according to Luke chapter 1, 5 and 6, those who are keeping the law are the righteous. By that account, I am righteous. And I know that the book of Sirach, it says that a disobedient woman is given to a lawless man. That is why I cannot, with a clear eye, marry a disobedient woman, knowing fully well that that spirit has been poured out. These women are reserved for lawbreakers. Why would I go and marry somebody like that?
The Most High will give you as a reward.
Typically.
He will give you a good woman,
okay,
as a reward for keeping the law.
Yes, it's true. It's true. But let me remind you of something that you know. The Bible said that he that findeth what? The Bible said that he who God gives a wife. Did he say that? He that findeth. It's you that will find. The Most High will not come down from heaven and give you a wife. It is you that will find a wife. So why will I be folding my hand and waiting for God to come down from heaven and give me a obedient wife? I have to find. He that findeth a wife.
Let's go on a loop now from this before
Okay. So you understand? So it is he that findeth. And the Most High had a system. And if I tell you that system, you'll be shocked. You will be surprised. I'm going to do a video about it. I will do a video about it, and I will do that video in Igbo language and in English. As soon as this feast is over, that's the project I want to focus. It take me some time to work on that project. I will do a video about it. If you see the system that even on YouTube, they might even remove that video if I put it there. The system that the Most High put in place, how you have to find that wife. That's how our ancestors used to do it. Today is no longer popular and things like that. So, but anyway, it is kind of wrong for a man to be, or a woman to be, especially for a man. You don't wait for Yah to send you a wife. You find, and you pray as you're finding. Okay. And the Bible also tells you that it's hard to find a good woman, right? So you have to find, but it's not easy. Now, what is a good woman? What actually is a good woman? People say good, good, good. Do you know that what is good to me may not be good to you, right? So what is that good? Good woman, good woman, good woman. What we consider good today is based on worldly standard. We should be judging things like Christ told us. Do not judge by appearance. Judge with righteous judgment. Use the law to judge. So a good woman is someone that fears the Most High, follows the word of the Most High. That is a good woman. Because if she follows, like I always tell people, see, for me, I've said this in the past. For me, I don't mind a woman that even slap me, insult me, as long as she's fearing the Most High. And she's dedicated to the Most High. And she does not play with the word of the Most High. I care more about that. I care more about that. What we have today in the world is, it's hard to find. I'm sure it's the same thing with men. It's hard because me, when I started, I wasn't as dedicated as I am now. When I started, I wasn't as dedicated. I started keeping this Sabbath in 2006, I think, around 2006 or so. What is it now? Almost 20 years now. Yeah? That's when I started. As soon as I finished, because I came back in 2005 and hosted crusade in that secondary school. And as soon as I went back from hosting that crusade, that was when that spirit came upon me. And the Most High began to open my eyes. Almost as soon as I went back to the US, I began to keep Sabbath this way. So, but when I began, I wasn't as the way as I am, as committed as I am now, back then. So it's like it's a journey. And I'm not saying it to give an excuse to anybody to backslide. So the thing is that when you talk about a good woman is someone that is completely dedicated to the Most High. It is more important for a man or a woman to be more committed to the Most High than to the husband or to the wife. If you're looking for a wife who is going to be committed to you and obedient to you, no, I want someone that will submit to the Most High. Because if she's submitted to the Most High, every other thing will be yes, she will have the right understanding. So going back to Satan, let's continue with that 2 Chronicles chapter 18. 2 Chronicles chapter 18 from verse 18. So it's going to show you that they actually have meeting in heaven. The Most High does not, the Most High, he is not like watching what you and I are doing here now and watching what our brothers and sisters in Imo State are doing right now in their congregation, watching what those in America are doing. No, the Most High doesn't have that time. That's what he has angels for. The angels watch over this thing, do this thing, and report to him. So let's read it here in 2 Chronicles chapter 18 from verse 18.
Second Chronicles
18.
18, verse 18.
Yes.
Then Micaiah said, therefore, hear the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing on his right hand and his left. 19. And the Lord said, who will persuade Ahab, king of Israel, to go up, that he may fall at Ramoth Gilead. So one spoke in this manner, and another spoke in that manner. Then a spirit came forward and stood before the Lord, and said, I will persuade him. The Lord said to him, in what way? He said, I will go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And the Lord said, you shall persuade him and also prevail. Go out and do so. 22. Therefore, look, the Lord has put a lying spirit in the mouth of these prophets of yours, and the Lord has declared disaster against you. 23. Then Zedekiah, the son of Chenana, went near and struck Micaiah on the cheek and said, which way did the spirit, which way did the spirit from the Lord go from me to speak to
Okay.
you?
So what is happening here is that there's a man called Ahab. Ahab was a wicked man. Ahab was the husband of Jezebel. Husband of Jezebel. He didn't know the Most High, but he was one of the kings of Israel. There were two kingdoms, northern kingdom and the other kingdom. So he was one of the kings of Israel, but he didn't know the Most High. So the Most High wanted to destroy him. The Most High now sent an angel to go and deceive him into going to war. But before that happened, the Most High had a meeting, cabinet meeting, like a king would. The Most High sat on his throne, and the cabinets were there. The elders, the angels, they were all there. And the angels usually comes and give a report as to what they're doing. So let's say, for example, like me now, the Most High gave me an assignment, and I know that I have an assignment. I know exactly what I'm supposed to do. I know exactly what my assignment is. That assignment that the Most High gives to me, the Most High does not monitor me and look at me and do all that thing. He doesn't have time for that. Rather, the angel, there's an angel that now make sure that I do that assignment. Make sure that when I go out to do it, there's safety. Make sure I have everything I need to be able to carry out that. Make sure that that assignment will go smooth. That angel will now report back to the Most High. Because that assignment that the Most High gave me is part of a broader assignment of gathering his people, waking up his people. And I didn't start here. I started in America. So in America, I have this thing. I'll show you guys later. In the back of the car I drove about 200 miles every day, all over California. So in the back of that car, I wrote something. It says, you are not African American. You are a Hebrew Israelite. I put Deuteronomy chapter 28 and Leviticus chapter 26, then I put my phone number. And because I drove all over California, different parts of California, people were seeing that. And these people who are called black people, they love to see it. When they first they see the back of, because that thing was big. It's in the back of the car. It was big. When they see it, they are happy. They are happy to see, because they don't know who they are. Black people in America don't know where they came from. They don't know who they are. It was only recently that they now started hearing that they came from Igbos. I'm sure you're seeing those videos. They are now finding out, like TD Jakes was saying, there's a video of TD Jakes. A lot of them are happy now to find out that they're actually from the Igbo tribe. So, just like those in the Caribbean, you're now seeing videos, people saying that they are now finding out that Jamaicans are, they have Igbo culture and things like that. So, here you have people that was born and raised in a place. They don't know where they came from. All they know is that they came from Africa, but they don't know where in Africa. They cannot enter the plane and go to that place. And exactly what the Mosai said, that his people will discontinue from their heritage. They will discontinue from their heritage. If I remove this plug from here, I have discontinued this TV from here. It's no longer plugged in. So what I was doing without even realizing it, by writing that in the back of the car, because of the type of work I was doing, I was driving, I'd go all over California. So they are very happy to read that in the back of the car. When it says, because what it says that I'm telling them that they are not who they have been told that they are. I'm telling them that they are not African American. That's what they are called. Black people. They are called black people, African American. So in the back of my car, I say, you are not African American. You are a Hebrew Israelite. Then I wrote those Bible verses, which if they read it, they will see how they got to where they are. That was where that work started, before I was actually transferred. You know how you're working in a company and you get transferred to a different place? I was transferred. And along the way, the Most High, his spirit was making everything possible. I told you, like everything you see, everything I have, everything I bought there. Most of these things I bought there. You see the tent, all these tents. And to come back here, if I am to come back with a normal, like normally, it will cost me so much. But the Most High also provided somebody. We became friends. So when he comes back home, usually I help him in America. If he needs something, if he wants me to pay his phone bill, I'll go and pay his phone bill and do things for him. So the Most High used him for me to load his container on his container. I loaded in his container my equipment. Now let me give you an example with this thing. You see this stand you see here? Before I went back, there was a time I traveled, I knew exactly that I wanted this stand. I knew I needed a stand like this for outside, from when I go to the market and preach. One day I went to that market. There was a market that I went to. I was walking and I saw this stand. I saw it. I approached the man that was selling it. As soon as I approached, there was somebody there that wanted to buy it. The person was thinking about it. I approached. I asked that man, "How much is the stand?" He said $20. I immediately opened my bag, immediately gave him $20. The other man there was so disappointed. So he almost bought this thing. For me to buy this thing, this is the other small one that I have was about $70-something. The small one. This one is anywhere between $500 to $1,000. This one is more expensive. We see the way the Mosai made it possible. It was not the Mosai that was doing it. It was the spirit. Now let me bring it down to our culture. That is why you see our ancestors in the Nanaifa. God is not dealing with us. He's too big to deal with us. Rather, he sent us a spirit that deal with us. That is the soon dog more. The spirit of the Most High is the one that deal with us. It is not. That's why our people say more, or go more is the spirit. It's just like Christianity came and scattered our brain. We now call God, Jesus, God. But he's too big for that. So my point is that the Most High made these things possible. Because of that assignment, I knew exactly what he wants me to do. But the Most High does not talk to me. I don't talk to him. He doesn't talk to me. He's too big. He's too big for that. It is the Spirit. That's what you just read now. Okay, let me ask you. We just read 2 Chronicles chapter 18 from verse 18. Okay, how come the Most High did not by himself went to deceive Ahab? Think about it. Look at the question that the Most High asked there. The Most High was on his throne. He asked the angels, who will go? Who will go? He's too big to be going and tempting somebody that he created. The Most High asked a question, who will go and tempt Ahab? This spirit said, oh, I will do this. They keep saying different things. One of them raised his hand and say, I will be a lion. I will do it. The Most High asked him, how would you do it? He now said, I will go and be a lying spirit in the mouth of his prophets. So they will lie to him. The Most High said, okay, go, you succeed. That is it. Now, where were they there? Where was those angels there? You will not see it here. Why was those angels gathering there with the Most High? You don't see it here. You see it in the book of Job. They come there to give report. So what you should be begging the Most High is to give you his spirit. Stop begging the Most High to be with you. The Most High is not going to be with you. Rather, beg him to give you his spirit to be with you. What did Yehoshua tell people? I will send you what? There's a spirit that will be sent to you. Right? A comforter. That is what you should be begging him. Our ancestors understood this thing. In our culture, in the Igbo culture, our ancestors deal with spirits. That spirit is what you call Alose. Again, I'm not going to say this one in public. People will not understand it. They will think I'm promoting Alose. Because they think Alose is bad. Alose is not bad. Alose is not a bad spirit. Alose is a good spirit. That's why Alose kill people who defile the land. Those that defile the land, Alose will kill them. Who told you not to defile the land? Leviticus chapter 18. The Messiah said, don't defile the land. The Messiah said, you shall not steal. If you steal and you deny it, and you take an oath, Alose will kill you. Isn't it? Oracle say, onye me ife na-ekwesịrị ime ajọ ya ọgọ ọnwụ oyi egbu onye. Who told us to take to take oath? The Most High. The reason why we now hate Alose and are scared of Alose is because we've become too corrupt. We have become too corrupt. That's why we now hate Alose. And Alose is not even in Igbo land anymore. That spirit have left because the land is too defiled for Alose. The land is too defiled. We are too polluted. What we have mostly is evil spirits and demons, and they are showing us shege. They are showing us shege, as we read in the book of Jubilee chapter 10. The spirit that we have today is the one that are making sure that we're suffering. As you read it there in Jubilee chapter 10. Jubilee chapter 10, you read it. You heard that what their master said there. He said that people are wicked. Please allow us to stay with them and deal with them. That is what is happening today. The good spirits are gone because they are home. The Messiah said he will send you a spirit. Be careful not to blaspheme that spirit. That if you do, he will not forgive you. Be careful not to offend that spirit. If you do, that spirit will never forgive you, isn't it? Yes. Our ancestors understood these things. That is why they held on to holiness. Our ancestors were holy because they understood that they can only maintain that spirit with holiness, which we call Nso in Igbo land. In English, it's holiness. We don't know what is holiness today as Christians. Christians don't know what holiness is. They don't know. And they don't want to know. And they will fight not to be holy. They will fight not to be. Like Jesus died on the cross. They will just did this. This happened. They will do everything to escape being holy. Then our ancestors, who you're calling demon worship and evil worship, they are more holier than us. They don't just eat anything or do anything or go anywhere. Or no. They have rules and regulations. And they fear the land. Yeah. Who told you to fear the land? The Most High. Our ancestors understood that the land is holy, the land is righteous. Who told you that? The Most High. It's in your Bible. So things are not the way, it's not what it seems. All those things they told you to fear, you should not fear. The ones they told you to not to fear is the one you should fear. So does that make sense? Do you understand? So stop thinking of Satan as your enemy. Satan is not bad. He's not your enemy. He's not evil. It's none of those things. It's none of those things. Just focus on your relationship with the Most High. Focus on. Satan can never deceive you. Like it's like me now, as I am. Satan cannot deceive me. Demons cannot deceive me. They won't even try, because I am keeping the law. If they try, they will not succeed. How will they try? They will try by trying to make me to do something that the Most High told us not to do. That will be my choice. I will be the one that will decide to do it if I want to do it. He cannot manipulate me and force me to go and do it. Now, what happened to this man that you read in 2 Chronicles chapter 18, verse 18? Well, the spirit came and deceived him. And he went to that war and he died. So the Most High sent him a deception. A lying spirit that came and deceived him. He went to the war. They killed him in that war. That is why it's so dangerous not to be keeping the law. Now, if you read there, if you keep reading that place, that's 2 Chronicles chapter 18. If you keep reading it, you notice that there was another man called Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat and Ahab were friends. One is the king of the northern kingdom. The other one is the king of the other. There were two tribes of Israel, two sections of Israel. They divided into two. Northern kingdom and the other kingdom. So Jehoshaphat was fearing the Most High. Jehoshaphat will not do anything without consulting the Most High. He feared the Most High. Okay, how come that spirit did not deceive Jehoshaphat? Jehoshaphat and Ahab went to the same war. Ahab was killed. Jehoshaphat escaped. Because the Most High did not want to, the spirit did not bother him. Because he was fearing the Most High. So what you're reading in 2 Chronicles chapter 18 here lines up with what you read in the book of Jubilees. What that demon said. Please do not bind up all the demons. Allow us to be dealing with human beings. So exactly what that demon said in the book of Jubilees, chapter 10, is exactly what you see here. Because you see how this spirit now went and become a lying spirit to the mouth of the prophet of Ahab. And that's why I told you, you see Ibafa. Ibafa is in the Bible. But if you go Ibafa today, they will deceive you. Because the spirit, Ibafa is consulting the gods, as they say. Yes. So today, if you go to do that thing, they will deceive you. Because the right spirit that he used, because if you look at the way it is in the Bible, it is the Most High that you consult. They use it to consult the Most High. Now, that DBA you're going to, that native doctor you're going to, is he consulting the Most High? No. So they will give you some fake information and deceive you. Do you understand? That's why that's why I don't do it. Now, let me bring it a little bit, let me move it somehow and bring it to what you and I are suffering today. You see, it is the same spirit that came upon the Gentiles. And that spirit possessed them. They took on white, like this, put on that white, and picked up the Bible, and entered the boat, and came down here. They were possessed. Spirit of deception. Spirit of deception from the Most High. Spirit of the Most High. Spirit of deception. Directed, sanctioned, funded, and sponsored by the Most High. That spirit went to Europe and possessed them. They put on white clothes, they carried the Bible, and they came down to this place to deceive us. The Most High sponsored it. He told you that he would do it. So when you see all these churches and you complain and you see all this deception and lies, the Most High sent it to us. Because that is the work of demons. If you don't want to accept the truth and you start playing games, pretending as if you don't understand it, the Most High will make you not you don't want to understand, no problem. You don't understand, he will now confuse you more. Yeah, by the time he's done with you, your brain will scatter. Yes, he told you that he would do it in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 20. Not only that, okay, go to Romans chapter 1 from verse 24. Look what he said that the Most High does. Look what he does to people. Romans. Then after that, you go to second Thessalonians chapter 2. Romans chapter 1 from verse 24.
Romans chapter 1 from verse 24. Therefore God also give them up to uncleanness.
Go up a little bit. Start from like verse 22. Let's find out who are those people.
22. Professing to be wise, they became fools. 23. And changed the glory of the incorruptible God into.
Now start from verse 20.
Okay.
I want you to mention who are these people that are professing to be wise. They claim to be wise, but they're actually fools.
20. For since the creation of the world
Uh-huh.
is invisible.
Now wait, this is a very good place to start. So it's telling you that from creation, it's very clear. If you look around the world, you can clearly see that this goba did not create itself. This mango did not create itself. Everything has been done perfectly. And yes, some people will see all this thing and they say that there's no God. Keep going. Romans chapter 1 from verse 20.
For since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his internal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. 21. Because although they knew God, they did not glorify him as God, nor were thankful, but became filthy in their and their foolish hearts were darkened. 22. Professing to be wise, they became fools. 23. And changed the glory of the incorruptible God into an image made like corruptible man, and birds, and four-footed animals, and creeping things. 24. Therefore, God also gave them up to uncleanness.
So who are these people? What did they do wrong?
In the lust
Wait.
of their. Okay.
They know, they can clearly see what the Most High created. And yet they refuse to give him glory. Go back up. They can clearly see his creation. They can clearly see all these things. They refuse to give him glory. They refuse to obey him. They were claiming that they were wise. So keep going. From verse 22.
Professing to be wise, they became fools. 23. Changed the glory of the incorruptible God into an image made like corruptible man, and birds, and four-footed animals, and creeping things. 24. Therefore, God also gave them up to uncleanness.
So wait. The Most High told us to be clean. He doesn't want us to be unclean. And yet the Most High now gives these people up into uncleanliness. The Most High gave them up into uncleanliness. So if you're telling them, we are not supposed to eat this, it makes us unclean, they will never agree. All they will like to do are unclean things. They can sleep with anybody, they can eat anything, they can do anything, they don't care. They just, because the Most High have given them up into uncleanliness. He told you not to be unclean. He told you to be clean, be clean, be holy. But if you refuse and you start claiming that you're wise and you're smart, he will now make you to love those unholy things. Keep going.
He gave them up to uncleanness in the lust of their hearts to dishonor their bodies among themselves. 25. Who exchanged the truth of God for the lie and worshipped and served the creature rather than the Creator, who is blessed forevermore.
So he said that he gave them up, and rather than worship the Creator, they now worship and serve the creation, the things that he created. Think of the Catholic Church, for example. Catholic Church, it's Mary. Mary is number one for them. For them, the most God does not matter. It's true. God matters, but you have to get to God through Mary. So think of Christianity. Same thing with Christianity. So it's no longer about the Most High. It's through Jesus. It's Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. So we focus more on what he created instead of him. No, it shouldn't be about Jesus. It's supposed to be all about the Most High. And yet you will see somebody arguing with you about it. You tell somebody, no, it should be about the Creator. It's all about him. They say, no, it's all about Jesus. Yes. So it's telling you that they focus on what the Creator created instead of the Creator himself. Because a reasonable person should not argue. If I'm telling you that it's all about Satan, it's all about this, it's all about Angel Michael, it's all about Angel Gabriel, that's different. If I'm telling you it's all about the Most High, then who should argue about that? Keep going.
26. For this reason, God gave them up to vile passions, for even their women exchanged the natural use for what is against nature.
The Most High gave them up into vile passions. Vile passions. Passion, that is when you desire something. They now begin to have passion for bad things. They love bad things, negative things, things that are destructive. He gave them up. The Most High gave them up into vile passion. The women now begin to desire their fellow women. Keep going.
Likewise, also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burning in their lust for one another. Men with men, committing what is shameful, and receiving in themselves the penalty of their error, which was due. 28. And even as they did not look to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a debased mind to do those things which are not fitting. 29. Being filled with all unrighteousness, sexual immorality, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, evil, mindedness. They are whisperers. 30. Backbiters, haters of God, violent, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents.
My brother, you're not Yazoo. Go back. Go back. Let's just look at this thing one after the other. It's what you see today. Go back, please.
27. From 27. Likewise, also the men, leaving the natural use of the women, bond in their lust for one another, men with men, committing what is shameful.
So you know how this is in America now. They are very passionate about homosexuality, men marrying men, women marrying women. But it's telling you that the Most High is one that gave them up into this. The Most High gave us a law in Leviticus chapter 20:13. Leviticus 20:13, it says that a man should not have sex with a man. A man should not live with a fellow man. It's a man and woman. He gave us that law not to do it. But because these people were not being honest, they don't want to keep his laws. he now makes them to love this type of things. You can never convince them to stop. The Most High is now the one that made them to be doing it. But this is something he told us not to do. But once he makes people to do this thing, the person can never stop. And this thing makes me afraid. This type of thing makes me scared.
It boils down to salt. That's putting evil spirit.
Yes. So the last thing you do is to convince somebody who is in homosexuality, who is doing gay thing. You can never convince them to stop. You can never. The Most High have put a curse on them. They will be doing it and they will die on it. That is the true God. That is the reality. And you should be afraid of that God. You're not afraid of the Most High God today. Keep going.
Men with men committing what is shameful and receiving in themselves the penalty of their error, which was due. 28. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a debased mind to do those things which are not fitting. 29. Being filled with all unrighteousness, sexual immorality, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, evil-mindedness. They are whisperers.
These are mostly what we see today. And the Most High is the one that have made us to be practicing these things, to be doing these things today. He's the one that have made it, and it's going to get even worse. It's going to get worse. That's even the sad part about it is it's going to get worse. So the way he does it, if you don't want the truth, just like we saw in the book of 2 Chronicles chapter 18 from verse 18, the Most High asks who is going to go and make King Ahab to go to that war and die. So when I tell you that the Most High does not deal with us, rather he sends a spirit. He's either going to send you a good spirit or he'll send you an evil spirit. He sent an evil spirit to Saul, in the book of Samuel. So what you should be begging him is to send you his Holy Spirit. But understand that Holy Spirit cannot stay with you if you're not being holy. So today, it's like you have to, if you choose to live righteously and maintain that spirit, go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. If you choose to live righteously, people will be laughing at you, saying all kinds of things. But I really pray that you will understand these things. I pray that you will understand this principle, because I'm telling you, your ancestors understood these things. Your ancestors that came before you understood it. That is why they were very careful. They were holy, which we call unso in Igbo land, holiness. They understood these principles. And they had real fear of the Most High. They had the real fear of the Most High. And that fear makes everybody to behave themselves. That's what the fear does. Today, we don't have the fear of the Most High anymore. So, what you see, the deception you see in Christianity, and all the abomination and deception and confusion, the Most High sent the Gentiles to come and bring this confusion. Because in the past, there were some of our ancestors, not all, but some who began to copy the other nations, trying to be like other nations. And that is a no-no with the Most High. That's a no-no. You don't do that. You only follow the scriptures, which my ancestor called Omenana. Omenana. That is what we call it here. In the Igbo culture, if you go back home and you see any Igbo person in Abeokuta, ask that Igbo person, what is Omenana? The person will tell you that Omenana is our tradition, it's our culture. But what they don't know is that Omenana is in the Bible. It's there.
The law of the land.
Omenana, Ome is what you do. The things that you do. Omenana are things that you do. Ome is do what you do. Ana is land. So I put together on this paper different Igbo names, different Igbo cultures I have two versions of this paper. This one is the short version. This one has like 20 something, 24. But I have the bigger version, which is more than 70 Igbo traditions. So in the back, you see Igbo names that are found in the Bible. People that answer Igbo names in the back with the chapters and verses. In front, you see Igbo traditions. So this is what we call Omenana. The thing is that our people don't know that this Omenana is actually from the Bible. This Omenana that our ancestors followed is what made them holy. By following these things. So for example, when a woman sees a monthly period, she doesn't cook for her husband and stuff like that. That's our culture. That's in Leviticus chapter 15. Standing up to greet an elder, that's our culture. Taking an oath in the name of the Most High and things like that. You know, different things, right of the firstborn, stuff like that. It's all there. So when I go out, I give them, when I explain these things, I give them this paper. So what I'm telling you is that our ancestors understood these things. The Most High does not play. Now you see, do you see our people today who are delusional? Our people today who are who are in Christianity. When you try to talk to them, it's like they are drunk. They don't even understand what you're saying. They were arguing and arguing and arguing. Let me show you why. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, from verse 1.
Chapter 2 from verse 1.
Yes.
Now, brethren, concerning the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ and our gathering together to him, we ask you to not to be soon shaken in mind or troubled, either by spirit or by word, or by letter, as if from us, as though the day of Christ had come. Let no one deceive you by any means, for that day will not come unless the falling away comes first, and the man of sin is revealed, the son of perdition, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he sits as God in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. 5. Do you not remember that when I was still with you, I told you these things? 6. And now you know what is restraining, that he may be revealed in his own time.
So he's telling you, this is a prophecy. He was telling them that the time will come when a man is going to come. He called that man of lawlessness. And that man is going to deceive people. Oh my goodness. He said that man is going to deceive people. But the people who will believe that man is going to come and lie. And when he tells that lie, those people that will believe his lie, our Heavenly Father will now become angry at that people, and they make them to believe that lie even more. And you can never save them from that lie again. That man is called Constantine, a Roman emperor. He was the man that Paul was talking about here. He came. He created Christianity. Without Constantine, there's no Christianity. You have your New Testament today because of Constantine. Because what you call the New Testament is letters that Paul wrote to different people in different places. I have a documentary on that, which I don't know if you've seen the documentary. Okay. So Constantine now said that he had a voice, and the voice told him to go and conquer. And after hearing that voice, he now created Christianity. When he created Christianity, he decided that they will not have anything to do with the Torah, the law. Yes. That they will not have anything to do with it. That was why they will now go and gather all these things we call Matthew, Ephesians, Galatians. They now gather all these books, put it together, and tell you that this is the one that you have to follow now. What about the one that the Most High, your Creator, told you to follow? What about the one that in Exodus Deuteronomy and Exodus and Book of Numbers, where he say, don't steal, don't lie, don't commit adultery, don't do this, don't do that. This man, somebody now come from Europe. He came from Europe and now told you that all these things that your ancestors have been following for hundreds of years, thousands of years, these things that your ancestors have been following for thousands of years, one man from Europe now tells you that that is done away with because he saw something in heaven. He saw something in heaven, and he now created Roman Catholic Church. That was the first church that they created. They now created Roman Catholic Church because Constantine, was the Roman emperor. Emperor is a king. He was the king of the Roman Empire. They now created Roman Catholic Church. He now brought that light to us. What he's reading here in Thessalonians is that before he came, this prophecy was given. Prophecy was given that somebody is going to come and tell this nonsense lie. Don't believe that person. And that those that will believe that lie, what is the lie? Simple. There's a man who is going to come. That man, he said that man is called man of lawlessness. Is he not there?
Yes.
That man will be called man of lawlessness.
Yes.
And I make sure that you don't believe that man. Law, meaning the law of God now.
Yeah.
When he comes, he's going to become lawless. You tell him that no, like tubeless. A machine without tubeless, there's no tube inside now. So this man is a man of lawlessness. That means that when he comes, everything that he does and say will be against the law of God. He will be pushing you not to follow the law of God. That is lawless. And there was a warning not to believe that man. That whoever believes that man, what will happen to them?
For the mystery of lawlessness is already at work. Only he who now is training will do so until he is taken out of the way. 8. And then the lawless one will be revealed. When the Lord will consume...
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. You just read something now. I don't know if you realize what you just read.
And the lawless one.
It says that the mystery of lawlessness is already at work.
At work, yeah.
Paul was saying this right after the death of Christ. As of the time of Christ, people have already started disobeying the law. But he tells you that this man have not been revealed because there's somebody who is holding him. As soon as that person releases him, he will now come out. Who is that thing holding him? The Spirit of the Most High was holding that man from coming out. So as soon as the time comes, that Spirit of the Most High will allow this man of lawlessness to come. So it is the will of the Most High for this man of lawlessness to come into the world and deceive people. And you better don't listen to him. You shouldn't be surprised because in Deuteronomy chapter 13, the Most High told you that he will send you false prophets. You better not listen to them. And how would you be able to know if they tell you to do something that is not in the scriptures, his law, or you're trying to do something in his law and they disagree, they say no, run from that person. He said that the Most High, in Deuteronomy chapter 13, he said that the Most High is testing you. He's testing you. That the Most High is the one that allows false prophets. So when you see them, don't be angry. And what I'm giving you is a deep understanding. This is not for everybody. Regular people cannot understand this thing. They cannot perceive what I'm sharing with you. Their brain cannot consume this type of information. When you see false prophet and all these things, why do you think they have power? The way you will know that, think, ask yourself, how powerful is the Most High? Is he powerless that he cannot control false prophets? Is God powerless that he cannot control the demons? No. The Most High allows false prophets to be. All these false churches and false teachers He allowed them to be. His spirit allowed them to have power. They will do miracle and you will see it and you will confirm. But the Most High is doing it to test you, for you not to believe their lies. So you should follow only His law. And if you try to follow it, anybody that opposes you, that person is your enemy. Anybody who opposes you from keeping His law is your enemy. That's your real enemy, not the devil. Because the devil cannot oppose you. See, that's the thing. Devil cannot oppose you from keeping the law. He doesn't oppose. He doesn't stop. Devil does not. It's a human being that will oppose you and stop you. Satan does not stop you from keeping the law. What chapter and verse? You never see it. There is nowhere where somebody wants to keep the law and Satan will stop them. What you read in your Bible is human being killing human beings for trying to keep the law. Human being persecuting human beings for trying to obey the law. That's what you see. But you never see Satan stopping somebody, because that is not his job. His job is for those people who are not being honest, those who are playing games, people who are playing games, who don't want to really obey the Most High, they are the ones that Satan is for. Even demons, it's not even Satan, it's demons. Because like as I said before, there's a difference between demons and Satan. Satan is only one individual. Satan is the one who is called the devil. Devil, Satan is the same person. One angel, just single angel. But then you have demons. Demons and Satan is not the same thing.
They're not doing the same work.
They're not doing the same work. But Satan is a high-ranking angel. So there are other angels under him. That's why you see in Revelation chapter 12, it tells you that there was a war, there was a fight in heaven. You can read it. So, but demons are different. In fact, if you have to fear demons. Yes. Because demons are the one. Demons don't like lawbreakers. 12. Demons does not like people that disobey the Most High. They will show that person shaking.
Right.
From verse 1. Do you understand what I mean? Did you see the prayer that their master prayed?
Yes.
Their master was begging the Most High to allow some of them to stay. They want to show shaking to those who are being disobedient. Demons is the one that you fear. Demons are the ones that will follow after and be torturing you, possessing people around, doing things like that's what demons hate lawbreakers. They hate lawbreakers. That's why the Most High made them and allowed them to be.
But what is the work of the devil?
The work of the
Satan.
devil, his work is exactly the type of thing that the Europeans have come and did here. White people came and did to us by bringing Christianity.
Higher writing job.
You see what Constantine did? The same thing we see in Christianity. That's what Satan does, deception. Demons do a little bit of different work. Demons is more like demons, they hate people that don't want to obey the Most High. And yet people are casting out demons. Think about it. Here you have a lawbreaker casting out demons. Does it work? Oh, there's a video I would have shown you. I think I've shown that video to some people before. There's a video I showed you in the past where one woman was casting out demons. A demon possessed her daughter. And she was trying to, in Jesus' name, leave. Jesus' name, leave. I'm going to see if I can find that video.
So we will link this into that of the one, as if in the Act of Apostle that said there was two men that were also casting demon out.
Yes.
And the demon now turned back and said, or the forces now turned back and said, Peter I know, Paul I know, who are you? You know?
In that case.
Is this demon that they were casting?
That's demon. That was not Satan. Satan does not possess. Satan doesn't possess people. Now, Satan, you see, the thing with Satan is that Satan is one individual, but he has angels under him, as you're about to see now. He has angels under him. Their job is just to deceive. So when it comes to like the invention of Christianity and all this lie you see today, all these things that are happening today, That's deception. Very, very, just like their job is to deceive, but they do it in a very subtle and deceptive way. Satan does not possess. And I'm telling you, if you shouldn't be fearing any of them, because they are not your enemy, and they are not bad. They are not bad. The ones that you need to fear are the demons. Demons are not playing, they are not happy. Demons hate makers.
So, but there is some places there are said that God going to tell us that anything that is banned in this earth that is banned in heaven. Any devil that is banned in this earth that is banned in heaven. Why they say that?
Anything you ban on this earth.
Like they are saying, if you ban devil,
that was what Noah did. Now, when Noah prayed, he was on the earth. He prayed to the Most High to round up all the demons and lock them up. As soon as he finished his own prayer, the master of the demons started praying his own prayer. So as you're banding demons are banding, and they will win you because you're not righteous. They will win over you. As you can see, Noah prayed. Their master, their Oga prayed, and the Most High heard their Oga's prayer and allowed them to be around till today. So when it says that whatever you ban on earth is bound in heaven, that is for righteous people. You as a righteous person. So let's say, for example, your brother's son or somebody who relate to you, demon possesses their child or somebody. You as a righteous person can actually plead with the Most High, and that thing will be undone. That saying is not for everybody. It's only for those who are righteous. So if demon is showing somebody shege because they are not living righteous life, and you can actually pray for them, and they will be free. The demon will leave them alone. The Most High will grant that your prayer, that's your request. Because you are righteous, they will leave that person alone.
But another one that I want to add to that is that when you pursue a demon from where you've been living, and the house is clean, and then the demon will be washing to see if the house is clean, vacant, and nobody is there. Instead, he will go and look for more demons stronger than himself to come and go back to that house, and the sense is not stronger than and the person will be, the situation of that person will be worse than the beginning.
Yes. Okay, what that simply means, first of all, it's talking about human beings. And if you look at what you just quoted now, you see that it lines up with the work of the demons. Their job is to possess and cause mayhem. On who? On the righteous? No. On those who are being disobedient. Anybody who is not keeping the law of the Most High, that is a foolish thing to do. You open yourself up to demonic attacks because demons hate lawbreakers. Their job is to torment them. That's their job. 1 Samuel 13:13. Saul disobeys the commandment of God. 1 Samuel chapter 16 from verse 12. The Most High removed the spirit of the Most High that was on Saul, and then sent him what spirit? That was tormenting him till he died. Demonic spirit is only for those who are breaking the law.
So I want to see that will it not be better instead of praying for somebody for evil spirit to leave the person? Will it not be better to tell the person to come and start keeping the law? Because when you pray for somebody who are lawbreakers or who is a lawbreaker, and you tell the Most High to let the spirit leave, and the person is not keeping the law, is that not dangerous?
Well, that's the mistake we make when we go to church and we're casting out demons. Who are you casting? It's nonsense. It doesn't work. It's absolute nonsense we shout and scream. Just because we're shouting and screaming does not mean it works. It doesn't work. People don't even understand what they are casting out. Who is doing the casting? The only person that have any chance of casting out demons are those who are righteous. They are the only one that can make a request. But I showed you that even Noah, who was a righteous man, still did not succeed the way he wanted. He prayed for demons to be cast out. Not all of them. Then their master prayed, and they were reinstated. And they continued to do their work.
Example of Daniel, while he was praying, that his answer was coming, and this wicked, whether you know whether he will stop the answer to his prayer, took God to send a stronger angel to go and dismantle their work and get the prayer of Daniel.
You see, that is why it's important for you to understand the work of demons. Because demons, they are free. The Most High allowed them to be free. They're going around and they possess people. They possess people. They do all kinds of things. But their main mission is they disrupt things. They scatter things. They show people shaggy. That's what they do. And when they start, they never stop. Unless if the Most High intervene and tell them stop. Okay, it's okay, enough. It's okay. They will leave. They will leave that person and go somewhere else. Because they are serving the Most High. Demons serve the Most High. Demons work for the Most High. Demons are servants of the Most High. The Most High is their ultimate master. Their master there that was praying that time reports to the Most High. Just like Satan and his own angel also report to the Most High. Now, it's important for us. Let's read that in Revelation chapter 12. So you see how the Most High cast them into this world. 12. Yeah.
Now a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and on her head a garland of 12 stars. Verse 2, then being with child, she cried out in labor and in pain to give birth. Another sign appeared in heaven. Behold, a great fury, red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 diadems on his head. His tail drew a third of the stars of heaven and threw them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman who was ready to give birth, to devour her child as soon as it was born. She bore a male. Verse 5. She bore a male child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up to God and his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she has a place prepared by Yah, that they should feed her there 1,260 days. Verse 7. And war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought with the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought, but they did not prevail, nor was a place found for them in heaven any longer. So the great dragon was cast out, the serpent of old, called the devil and Satan, who deceived the whole world. He was cast into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Then I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ are come, for the accuser of our brethren, who accused them before our God day and night, has been cast down, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they did not love their lives to the death.
Okay. So there was war in heaven, argument. The disagreement and fight among those angels. I wanted to show you this because you see that Satan and his own angels, and then angel Michael and his own angels. So there are millions and millions and millions of angels, but you never hear about them because they are low ranking. You only hear about their leaders. Angel Michael is the one of the leaders. Angel, like Satan himself, also has angels under him. But their work, they specialize on deception. They don't specialize on possession. They don't. It is the demons are the ones that do that, and demons are very radical. They're very radical. They are not playing. They are not smiling. Their job is to attack lawbreakers. Demon. Don't you see what happened with Noah? You see, Noah was a righteous man. Then he had sons. Then his sons have children. The demons was possessing and doing those things to his children. Because just because Noah was righteous doesn't automatically mean that his children will be righteous. So righteousness is an act, something that you have to do yourself. It's not something you don't become righteous and all your children become righteous. No, they have to make their own choice. So the grandchildren of Noah was vulnerable for the attack of the demons because they were not righteous. So it took the intervention of their father. Their fathers now report to their grandfather. Their grandfather, because he was righteous, prayed, and the Most High had that prayer. Now, if Noah was not righteous, the Most High would not have heard that prayer. Doesn't matter how much he bind, how much he declared, how much he cast away, doesn't matter. The Most High will never hear that prayer. And the demons will continue to be disturbing those children. And that is the state we are in today. That is our state today, because we do not keep the law. Demons are now useless in children, doing all kinds of things, and there's nothing we can do. You go to the church, they scam you, they pray, they bind out, cast out demons, and they do all these things and all that. Okay, let me give you an example. Your family. In your family, you told me that they did always, where they invited a prayer warrior or something like that, and they charge everybody money, right, to pay. They bring these people and they prayed to clear out the cause and things like that. Okay. Did it work?
No.
It did not work. Because who are you to bind those demons? Those demons are more righteous than people who are trying to cast them away. Those demons, number one, those demons are working for the Most High. That's number one. Number two, those demons are righteous. They don't disobey the Most High. Demons do not disobey the Most High. Because the Most High created them the way he created you and I. They feel the way you and I feel. Just that they have a separate work. Their work is to go around and punish, possess, and destroy those who don't want to be righteous. That's what they do. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, I want to give you an example with what you see on the street, on the main road. Satan his work is to deceive. Demons is to possess. Satan will possess a Gentile somewhere. That Gentile will sit down because they have been possessed. They don't know what they're doing anymore. They are possessed. They will sit down and they will use a piece of paper. They will design some nonsense clothes. They will design it. After designing it, they will make it. They make that clothes and they export it. Somebody will now go and buy the clothes and put it in the shop. Now, Satan, this is how Satan works. Satan will now, if you see that clothes, your mind might tell you, this clothes is too revealing. This clothes is not good for me to wear this clothes. You're not going to see Satan. Nobody sees Satan. It's a spirit. But there's a thought that will come to your mind. Forget that. God does not care about things like that. Don't give this. You start getting exactly the same thing that happened to Eve. That is the same kind of mindset that will come to the person's mind. So that is that deception. But overall, at the end of the day, that person is the one that will make the final decision whether they want to buy that clothes or not, and whether they want to wear it. So it takes demon possession for the person that designed it to convince you to wear it. Convince, not force you. They cannot force you. Satan cannot force you. To convince you to buy it, that takes deception of Satan. And all he can do is to just tell you things, like put things in your mind. But the overall and final decision is you. Me that will make it. I will have to decide. So when the punishment comes, it comes to me. That is why the Most High told you in Deuteronomy chapter 13 to be careful that he's going to send out false prophets. Make sure not to believe them. That is, if you want to obey the law and they say no, or somebody is opposing you obeying the law, run from that person. Run. It's that simple. So Satan and demons are not our enemies. They are servants and workers of the Most High. That is what they do. If you want to avoid demons and Satan, just focus on being obedient to your Heavenly Father by keeping His commandments. That's all. Just keep His commandments. That's all. That's all. And if you're keeping His commandments, you can actually pray for somebody who is possessed. The person will be, the demons will leave because of you. Oh, that reminds me. You mentioned a man that was possessed. Because the apostles were law keepers. So the apostles were going around the villages, casting out demons, like Yahushua. So the apostles were casting out demons. And they became famous for that. People knew about them. There were some other people that wanted to be like the apostles. But they were not keeping the law. So they now went to a man who was possessed, tried to cast the demon out from him. It was not that man, but the demon that possessed him now went and locked that door and then brought out a cane and began to show those men shege, beating them, telling them, I know Peter, I know, who are you? Do you understand what happened there? These men wanted to cast out demons because the apostles were doing it. When a demon possesses somebody and the righteous person comes to the possessed person and pray for them, because the person who is doing the praying, because that person is righteous, the demons will obey and leave. The demons will leave that person alone, leave and go away. But if you're not righteous, a lawkeeper, and you try to go cast out demons, it's not going to work. That was what happened there with those men. They were attacked because they were not lawkeepers. And who are you trying to cast out demons that the Messiah have assigned to torture people and possess people and show people shege, and you want to cast out those? You cannot succeed. What we have today is a scam. We have a scam where people claim to cast out demons, they claim to do these things, but at the end of the day, you realize that it's not really working. It's not working. Yes.
He rebelled in heaven and he was cast back. And demons too, they are rebellious spirits.
Mm.
If someone is rebellious,
Mm.
does that not mean that they're working against the commandments of their master?
Okay, let's start from the beginning. And that will make me to ask you the question I asked you earlier. You said that in the beginning, Satan he was a good angel.
Yeah, according to scripture.
And then he did what?
He rebelled
He rebelled, and then,
and he was cast out.
okay, he was cast out. Good. So now that he rebelled and was cast out, who is now in charge of him?
He's the master of rebellion.
Who is in charge of that Satan now? Is he, now that he rebelled? Because if your child is under you and they rebel and go away, are you still controlling them?
No.
Okay. So now that Satan disobeyed, now that he rebelled against the Most High and he was cast out, who is now in charge of Satan?
Nobody.
Mhm. The Most High, the Most
You
High.
make my child, make me and my child example.
Mm.
If my child, let it not be rebel, and he was not listening, no more listening to my instruction, then he's no more under me. He's on his own.
Okay. So when the Bible tells you that Satan rebelled and was cast out, he is not independent of the Most High. If nobody can rebel against the Most High and go away from his authority, it is not possible. The Most High will simply eliminate that person or eliminate that thing. Simply eliminate it and it won't exist again. So when he said that he rebelled and he was cast out, what does that mean to be cast out? Where was he casted out to?
Well, to earth.
To earth. So now what is he doing in the earth?
He's also looking for more rebellious among the human beings.
No, Satan is not looking for rebellion among human beings. The Bible tells you what he's doing in here on earth. The book of Job.
He's going back and forth,
Okay.
doing the job of deceiving people.
Okay,
Making
so
them to
the
rebel
Most High
against
asked
God.
him. The Most High asked him in the book of Job.
Yeah.
The Most High asked him when they came to present themselves.
Yes.
You know how they say, "How you doing?"
I know.
in America. So the Most High now asked him. The Most High asked him to give a report because that's what they came there to do. Like everybody has to explain what the
What
progress,
they've been doing.
the progress, what their assignment. They all have an assignment. Angel Michael's assignment is to protect Israel. Daniel chapter 12.
Now that there is no more Israel, so he doesn't have job to do.
He doesn't protect Israel anymore. And the Bible tells you in Daniel chapter 12, the Most High told him to stop. His assignment was, that is why we're suffering. His assignment was suspended. Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. So every angel has an assignment. So the Most High asked Satan in the book of Job, chapter 1. In Igbo language, you say Kedu. That question is not a simple question that the Most High asked him. It's simply for him to give a report. You're standing in front of the king. They all came there to give a report. They have to come and report on their various assignments. How is it going? It was the time for Satan to give. The Most High asked him, "Okay, what is happening? And then he now explained his assignment. He said, "I'm going through and forth, and everything is good." That's what he told the Most High. He's going through and forth, that everything is okay. The Most High is the one that now asked him about Job. Have you noticed my servant Job? To which he responded, "Yes, he's obeying you because you gave him everything that he wanted. If you take those things away from him, he will begin to rebel against you." The Most High now said, "Okay, go and take those things away from him, but don't touch his soul." So when he said that Satan was cast out, That is what that means. He wasn't cast out and now he's rogue. He's a rebellion. He's a gang member just roaming around, destroying things. No. Casting out simply means he was cast out from that heaven down to a different assignment.
He was taken from his original assignment.
To now be here on earth. Now watch. Revelation chapter 20 tells you that the time will come when he will put away. After some time, he'll be released again to be deceiving people in the future. That is his assignment. So the work of Satan is actually the work of the Most High. The Most High sent him to do these works. Disobedient of the law.
Before we begin, either my name will take it,
Hmm?
either my name will quietly be their own life in the garden. Why did humanity deserve this sort of temptation from the devil?
Okay, so humanity deserves the temptation because the creator that created this world, that creator that created you, has an intention. He has a desire, his will. There's something that he wanted. And it is not us that he created that will tell him what he wants or what he will do. When you make something, you make it the way you want. You decide the way it's going to be. If you want to cook a soup, I cannot come and tell you that you must put pepper or you must put salt. That is your cooking. You are the one that will choose. It's up to me if I want to eat it or not. So the Creator's will and desire is that those that he created has to live according to his commandments. So he now created a system where people will be regularly tested to make sure that they're following that commandment. And the people that refuse to follow that commandment, there are demons that are left to torment those people. So if you want to avoid demonic attack and those things, you focus on keeping the commandments, and demons will not deal with you. Because like as I told you, the people, you should fear the demons more than Satan. The demons are not smiling. They are not happy. They are angry at those who are disobeying the Most High. Their job is to get you in line to obey the Most High. So you shouldn't be casting out demons.
Their job is
to get you in line to obey the Most High.
So when I've been deceived already,
let me answer that with scripture. Why did the Most High remove his spirit from Saul? According to 1 Samuel chapter 13:13. Okay, 1 Samuel 13:13, he disobeyed the law, right? 1 Samuel chapter 16 from verse 12. The Most High now removed his spirit from him and then sent evil spirit to torment him, right? Now, I want to ask you something. When Saul was being tormented, did he ever repent? Do you know what Saul did when he began to be tormented? You know what he did? In English language, they call it doubling down. Saul doubled down. That means he became angry at the whole situation. He wanted to kill David. Saul never had a mind to repent. He felt that he was entitled to rule Israelites. And how dare anybody remove him from that seat? He became enraged and angry. But if Saul had humbled himself and said, please God, I'm sorry, I disobeyed you, and he himself called David, if Saul had called David and said, here, take the throne, take it. It is the will of God. It is my fault. I'm supposed to retain this throne. But because of my foolishness and my disobedience, I lost it. Now it is the will of God for you to be on the throne. If he had called David and blessed David, carry all those things that give to David, the Messiah would have forgiven him. But Saul did not do that. Saul was enraged and was trying to kill David, knowing fully well that it is the will of God for David to not take over that kingdom. He knew, but he didn't care. He did no longer care about what the Messiah said, wanted to do. He became angry. So he broke the commandment. The Messiah now took his kingdom away from him because he broke the commandment. The Most High now send him an evil spirit. Instead of him to humble himself and admit that, yes, this is my fault. All these things happened because I did not obey the commandment of God. And since I disobeyed the commandment, me losing my kingdom is my fault. So be it. Come, David, you carry that throne, that crown, and give to David and bless him and go on the side. The Messiah would have forgiven him, but he did not do that. So that's why the Messiah allowed that demon to continue, that spirit to continue to torment him until he died. So that is the answer to your question. We are asking, what have we done? Yeah, because when somebody is possessed by demons, what they need to do is to begin to keep the law. And the demons will leave that person alone. What we're doing wrong, as we asked in that question, what we do wrong is that we refuse to keep the law. We're playing games. We're playing games. Yeah, in the camera. No, because I don't want you to speak in the camera. It's going to affect those who are watching it. So, do you understand what I mean? What we're doing wrong is that we're disobeying the law. Then we need to humble ourselves. Anybody who is possessed, if you want to save a possessed person, you see some of these people who have mental illness walking around, some of them are possessed. Yes, some of them are. It's possession.
Not only them. I want to believe that all godless people are possessed.
Well, possession. When somebody is possessed,
They are possessed.
those demons, they don't play. If they target somebody and possess them, they will be doing all kinds of foolish things. So the way to save that person is not to call them, kneel them down, and be cast out in Jesus' name, we cast you out. No, that's not how you cast out demons. Because it will not work. What you do is you make sure that you yourself, you're keeping the law. That's number one. You start praying for that person. Praying for the Most High to lead, just like Noah did in Jubilees chapter 10. Start praying for the person, and if you know other people who are law keepers, talk to them and let them be praying for them. If you can arrange to bring that person somewhere, or have that person somewhere, you bring other people that you know who are keeping these commandments, have them pray for that person, to be interceding on behalf of that person. The person will be unpossessed if it is the will of the Most High. That is how you do it. It is not just by shouting in Jesus' name. No, that's not how you do that. Because the demon that possessed that person is working for the Most High. Can you imagine? Okay, Saul is a very good. I'm glad that everything we're studying right now, there are different biblical examples of these things. When Saul was possessed, do you think that somebody could pray those possession away from Saul? Because Saul was still being defiant to the Most High. He was actively trying to kill David, who the Most High now want to rule Israelites. Saul was supposed to humble himself and surrender and admit that he was wrong. But he didn't do that. So can you imagine somebody organizing prayer warriors trying to pray for Saul? It will not work. That's why when they brought David, whenever David began to blow that thing, those demons will back away. As soon as he stop blowing, they will come back and begin to torment Saul. Okay? And somebody can be tormented with headache. Somebody can be tormented with different kinds of pain in the body. They can be tormented with, they'll be hearing voices. They'll be hearing loud voices. They can be tormented with, like, there are different ways that this demon can torment somebody. There are different ways they can torment that person. So this is basically what we are dealing with in the world today. This is a very deep information. This information that we just went through today is not a normal, regular information. There are very deep information as to what is happening in the world today. So Satan is not your enemy. Demons are not your enemy. These are workers of the Most High. They are, like as I said before, the ones that you need to fear and be careful are the demons. Because when you start breaking the law, they don't play. They hate lawbreakers. You cannot say that I'm just telling you this. We read Jubilee chapter 10. You see what they didn't you hear what the leader said? Did you not hear what their leader said in Jubilee chapter 10? He prayed to the Most High. A demon, leader of the demons, was praying to the Most High. Say, please allow some demons to remain. Because human beings are wicked. We need to teach them a lesson. Just allow, yeah. They're not playing. They possess those who don't take the law seriously. Satan's work is to deceive. Deception. It's the two different things. So the people that you need to watch out for are the demons. And don't bother about casting them out. Don't fear them. Just focus on fearing the Most High. Who sends demons? Who sends spirit? Who sends Satan? They all report back to him. So let's say right now, demon, because the demons go around and they decide who to possess. They only possess those who are not law keepers. The demons can actually possess somebody without the Most High knowing. Demons can possess someone without the Most High knowing. Yes. Because they've been given power and authority to deal with those who are breaking the law. So they can possess someone without the Most High knowing. Which is why if you now bring that case to the Most High will say, okay, leave. It's okay. Leave that person alone. They will leave the person alone and move on. But they're very angry. They don't take nonsense. Demons don't take nonsense. And demons are not evil. Demons are not bad. Demons are not rebellious. Demons are very, very obedient servants of the Most High.
And the Most High does not assign them a particular job. They just
They roam around. But their targets are people who don't keep the law.
So why have they not possessed the old? Anyway, as I said, they possess people. Because if they are not, you see young girls have naked on the street, sleeping with
That's what I'm saying. Do you understand what I said?
That's what I'm saying. That they possess everybody now.
That's what I'm saying. I just told you that they can possess somebody without the Most High knowing. Why? Because the Most High have already given them that work to do. Look at what they did. You and I are saying pretty much the same thing. I'm trying to connect what you are saying the same thing. Look at the way they possess the grandchildren of Noah. Right? They possess the grandchildren of Noah. And if you look at what they were doing, because they were possessed, they now began to do destructive things. So when you see that girl who wears that type of things, that's why you don't send your children out to school.
Even men who wear pants.
That's why you don't send your children out to school. Because
No, the one holding his pants with his hands, is it by force to wear pants?
that's why, please allow me to say this, please. That's why you don't send your children to schools. Because there are a lot of children who have already been possessed in their schools. And then they will now influence your children. They will also be possessed. And why is that possession bad? Because when somebody is possessed, they do destructive things to themselves. They do destructive things that doesn't make sense to themselves. You can see somebody who is perfectly normal, a normal child. All of a sudden, they start smoking weed. Igbo. From there, they go into other drugs. They destroy themselves. You see a young girl who is perfectly normal, obedient girl. All of a sudden, she will start going from one man to another. 1 month, before you know it, she becomes useless. A person who is possessed, when someone is possessed, let's say a child is possessed, and your child is dealing with a possessed child, it can actually affect your own child. It can actually affect them. And when, just like you see with the sons of Noah, when someone is possessed, they do destructive things, which eventually leads to untimely death. It leads to a miserable life. It leads to bad life. But this is only for those who do not keep the law, because demon possession, they only possess, their job is to punish and deal with the lawbreakers. Someone who is a lawkeeper don't have to worry about demon possession. They don't. I want to give you an example with what's the name of Balaam. Balaam. There was a nation that wanted to. There was a nation that wanted to do a charm to the Israelites. And at that very moment, Israelite was obeying the law. So the Most High now gave an order for that charm not to be done. If they were breaking the commandment of the Most High at that moment, the Most High would have kept quiet. That charm will be done, and that spirit will be disturbing Israelites. See? So these spirits, demons, Satan, you see, Satan's work extends to everybody. That deception goes everywhere. Whether you're a lawkeeper or not, Satan will always be attempting to deceive you. Whether you are righteous or not, there will always be an attempt to deceive you. Just like Yahushua Christ. Christ was not a sinner. And Satan tried to deceive him. But demons do not possess law keepers. Demons cannot possess Christ. Demons do not possess those who are obedient to the law. But Satan can try to deceive you through somebody, through money, through a job, through different things. Setting traps for you. This happens to everybody, both law keepers, just like Job. Job was a righteous man. Job was not possessed. Job, that you read about, his problem was not demon possession. Job was being tormented by Satan, trying to deceive him to do what? To curse the Most High. So that's how these things work. Satan is not our enemy. Demons are not our enemies. These are agents of the Most High. They are agents and workers and servants of the Most High God. That's who they are. We shouldn't be worried about them or bothered about them, as long as we are focused on following those laws and the commandments. As long as you're keeping the law, don't worry about demons. They're not your enemy. So, closing from where we started, oftentimes today, we notice that most of the things we blame Satan, most of those things, look closely, you see that it was a choice that somebody made. These are choices that are avoidable. So when somebody is speeding, they have an accident, they kill themselves or they kill somebody or they destroy something, you start calling Satan. That's not the work of Satan. If you even want to call somebody, you might call the demons. It's not Satan. Satan does the work of deceiving. Demons possess. Demons possess. Somebody can be possessed and they will do destructive things. But that doesn't mean that you blame the demons. Because the question should be, why was that person possessed in the first place? Demons do not possess righteous people. Demons only possess unrighteous people, those who are not keeping the law. So if you want to avoid demon possession, you focus on keeping the law. Okay? Yes.
In the family, for instance, in the family, the father will give birth to the first son of the parents, came out as a kind of becoming lunatic at the end of the day.
Yes.
What would cause that? Is it the sin of the father, or is it demon possession? The child just grew up, and all of a sudden begin to develop into that state. As in, do that with something like emphasize
Like mental illness.
mental illness,
Okay.
destructive.
So, it's not automatically demon possession. It's not automatically demon possession. It could be the choices that was made before the person was conceived. So there are certain things that you'll be eating. It will affect the man that impregnated the woman. So what a man eats before he impregnates a woman matters a lot, because the seed comes from the man. So a man who is not eating the right thing, the man, like, if you watch the quality of children being born now, they are not good quality. You see young kids, 8 years old, 9 years old, with eyeglasses, with glasses. How can you have 8 years old with glasses? A child is having eye problem that's supposed to be having from the age of 60, from the age of 80, 90. The quality of children today are not good. We have low quality children, and they behave like Okuka Greek. Children of today now. Yeah, they are not very smart. They're not very, very intelligent. So what I'm telling you is that these are one of the ways, one of the things that can affect the behavior of a child. Also, there's something called lead poisoning. Lead poisoning. The paint used to paint the house. Some paint that have a chemical called lead. Usually they put it in paint. So depending on if that paint has that lead, some of the things that can happen to a newborn, when you have a newborn baby in a house with a paint. If this is fun, I would have tried to show you some of the symptoms, the effect that can happen to newborn baby. It can affect the growth of the newborn baby. It can affect their mentality. It can slow their ability to, like, it can affect them mentally. So there are different things that can cause someone to, from childhood, have mental illness. From childhood, it could be from the food that the father is eating. It could be from the environment when the baby is born, the kind of paint that was used to paint the house and things like that. Also, it can also be part of a cause, depending on what was done in the past. So there are several reasons that can cause something like that to happen. It's not just one reason. There are several reasons that can cause something like that. Typically, the Most High created us very well. Typically, we don't become mentally ill from birth, normally. Something caused it. Yeah. They say what? Uh-huh. Yes. Is Melchizedek, is he Yahushua? No. He was a man a long time ago. He was a king, like a priest in a place called Salem during the time of Abraham. During the time of Abraham, there's a land, a village or a town called Salem. So Melchizedek was like kind of like their priest in that place. And when Abraham was going about, moving about, there was a time that Abraham came that area, and Abraham paid him a tithe. So, well, it's not Yahushua. It's not Yahushua. They try to, the book of Hebrews, try to say that Christ is like a Melchizedek. They are trying to say that because Christ cannot be the high priest. Christ cannot be the high priest because Christ is not from the tribe of Levi. I'm telling you why they mentioned the man called Melchizedek. It has nothing to do with Christ. You can only be a priest if you're from the tribe of Levi. That is the will of the Most High. So, because the people that wrote the book of Hebrews, they want to convince you that Christ is the new high priest, which is not. Christ is not your new high priest. So what they did is to show you, well, look, there's a man called Melchizedek. He's from the place called Salem. He was a priest. So just like Melchizedek was not from the tribe of Judah, a tribe of Levi, and he was a priest, so the same way Christ can also be a priest. That's how they made the connection. But you don't have to make the connection. It's not necessary. Christ is who he was. He never claimed to be a priest. He never claimed to come and change anything. Do you understand? Do you understand? So what they're doing is that they're trying to convince you to forget the system that the Most High created, that Christ is now your new high priest. And they know that you will not believe it. Because if they tell you that, you will say, no, he's not from the tribe of Levi, so he cannot be the new high priest. So what they did is to mention Melchizedek, say he was a priest. So therefore, because he was a priest, and they did it in a deceptive way, because they could have used Moses' father-in-law, who was also a priest, but they didn't want to go that side because that would be taking you back to the law. So they quoted something that was not in the law to convince you. The whole idea is to make you to believe that Christ is now your new high priest. So don't worry about the law that God gave you. Don't worry about that. Just focus on Christ. He's your new high priest. So, but it's not really so.
Yeah, another question is that something that says that when person old,
When a person is old,
when person is old,
yes.
not their son, taking care of the person.
Okay, so that one is going to be a different study. I think we need to do it. We have today and tomorrow to be here. So we'll be here today and tomorrow. Definitely we need to do that study in terms of preparing for your old age. As you are right now, see Akachu and David, you cannot rely on them to take care of you when you're old. You cannot rely on them. When you are actually really, really old, they will be busy with their families. They will be busy with their families, and so there's a way you prepare for that, and I will share that with you. That's going to be a different study. Yeah, you have to prepare for who's going to take care of you when you're old. You don't count on your children or your grandchildren. The reality is that they will not. They might pay somebody to take care of you, but they themselves will not do it. Your son is not going to leave his family and his work and stay with you 24 hours a day. Do you think so? Stay with you every day and just be cleaning you, washing you, and be there. It's not going to happen. So you are the one that have to plan who is going to do it now against that time. That is what we're going to be looking at. Okay? All right. Okay, so does anybody else have any question before we? I think we're going to. Okay, so it's almost 4. I say we're going to close by 4. We'll close that by 4, and then we might take a little break, and then go on to Telegram to join our other brothers and sisters. And then those that want to go will be free to go, because we're not sleeping here today. The sleeping is over. But I'm going to connect with those who are online. Some of them are already watching right now, but I need to connect with them with that worship. So we're going to take a break. If you like to stay a little bit longer, you can stay. Tomorrow we're going to have our normal time, 9 a.m. We're going to have our normal meeting tomorrow, normal time that we start tomorrow. But I'll let you know if we have to change the time. I'll let you know if we need to go. We changed the time today because we left here this morning. We left here and we needed some time to kind of prepare. So please, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And those of you who are watching on YouTube, feel free to type in your question if you have any question. You're welcome to type in your question. We're going to take a break. We're going to sing and pray and take a break just to conclude. We've looked at different scriptures today. And I really want you to think, I want you to meditate on echiche, echiche. Meditate on the things we studied today. Understand who your real enemy is. Human beings are more dangerous to you than Satan. Because Satan will never intervene and try to stop you from keeping the law. But human beings will. So, and same thing with demons. And I really pray that you now understand, more scriptures and things about demons. So don't ever get involved in trying to cast out demons and all that thing. Don't do that. If you have someone that you love or that you care about, someone that belongs to you, and you feel like they are demon possessed, you can try to pray for them, but don't cast out. Don't be shouting, I cast you out. That's childish. That demon will not leave that person alone because you're shouting and jumping and screaming and binding. No. That's not the reason why the demon will leave. The demon will leave if you actually go to the Father. You do what Noah did. Noah did not go and bring the grandchildren and be casting out demons. Noah went to the Father privately. That's what you do when you feel like your child is possessed or somebody is possessed. You don't go and start shouting at that person. Rather, you communicate to the Heavenly Father directly. If you're truly a righteous person and you're keeping the law, He will hear your prayer. And the person will be unpossessed. Because the Most High gains nothing. He gains nothing from people being possessed. But He likes people being possessed because He sends those demons out to go and do it. God is the one that sent people to go and possess people. The Most High sent demons to go and possess people. So He doesn't like it. He doesn't enjoy it. But it is necessary. He says it's part of punishment for those who refuse to keep the law. Okay? All right. So does anybody have any question before we close? Okay.
This question I'm asking is just like this. Maybe you are blessed in your family or your community, and maybe someone among your family or family members or extended family around the community just saw your blessings and envied it and went as far as maybe consulting all these doctors.
Yes.
To maybe possess you or cast spell on you or maybe curse you. If you are a law keeper, will that work?
Yeah. So that part is part of the part that we did not go much into today. We've gone into it in the past here. There was a time we studied something like that because today we focus on Satan and demons, but you also have other spirits. There are other spirits. So those spirits that we have, those other spirits, are you familiar with, I'm sure you've heard of something called Olasio Okija?
Yeah.
Are you familiar? Okay. So if you go to Olasio Okija, you're going to see a lot of dead bodies. A lot of dead bodies in that place. And
you know that one, that's this thing that they used to call Okija Shiran.
no, she may not know. Yeah, she's too far away for that. She's too far away. So there's a shrine not too far from here. That shrine has a spirit. And I'm saying this based on his question. What if somebody goes and does something in a shrine in your own area? I'm sure those of you in the Caribbean might have something like that, especially in Haiti. Because our people in Haiti, they also do this native doctor thing and stuff like that in Haiti, voodoo things in Haiti. So the brother asked a question. The question he asked is, what if somebody goes to do voodoo or charm against you? Will it work? as a lawkeeper. So I'm giving you an example that we do have a powerful shrine not too far from here. If you go there, maybe I will take you there next feast, if you can enter. But you will see dead bodies.
And government did not arrange.
No, government on that side because nobody wants to die. Government is human being, and the person doesn't want to die. Nobody wants to die. Okay, so government only harasses people who they feel like they can harass. It's not. They don't go that side.
They don't.
Okay. The so-called government ban people from doing sacrifices. They ban it right now. How many people do you think you saw in that river yesterday? Sacrifice. Eh? Plenty, right? All those people you see, you didn't just carrying stuff. You didn't see what they were doing in that water.
They carry rice and banta.
You saw that. So why wouldn't the government go there? Why would the government go to that place? They know, the government know that that is happening, but they will not go there.
Yeah, they don't need to go there because that's just rice and banta.
Some of them had animals.
Of course.
They had live animals. There was somebody that had a bag. I don't know if it was a cat.
Chicken.
I don't know if it was a cat or something inside the bag. The bag. Okay, so here's the thing. The question that he asked is, if you are a lawkeeper, can somebody go and do charm? In America may not understand this, but those in the Caribbean might. In the Caribbean, they do voodoo and things like stuff like that. So there's a spirit here. Like as I said, if you go there, you're going to see a lot of dead bodies in that area.
Wow.
These dead bodies are believed. These are people who was killed by that spirit. So that spirit is known for when somebody, let's say you do business with somebody and they eat your money, they take advantage of you, they steal from you. If they refuse to pay you, you can go to that shrine and report the person. The people that run it, the priest of that shrine, will now send that person a message that you are going to bring the person's information. They will now send the person a message to come and defend themselves in front of that spirit, to come and explain what happened. So what happens is that sometimes people who are Christians, they ignore it. They say, oh, I'm a Christian, I cannot go there and things like that. So when the period that they gave the person to come and defend themselves, because when somebody reports somebody there, the spirit cannot just go and do something. The spirit has to, they have to give you a chance and invite you to come and explain what happened and defend yourself. But if you refuse to come, they will give you a period of time that you have to come. If the person refuses to come, then they will finalize everything that they'll finalize and then send the spirit after that person. So the reason why you see dead bodies when you go there right now is because at some point the person will die. And if the person dies, the dead body must be exhumed, taken out of the ground, and be taken to that place. Or else, more and more people will keep dying in that family. It will keep doing destructive things in the family until you bring the dead body of the person who did that thing. Their dead body must be brought to that shrine. That's the only way that the spirit will stop. So, stuff like that do happen. Now, the question that the brother asked is this. As a lawkeeper, can somebody go to a shrine and report you and the thing will affect you? It depends on what you did. Because the Most High is not a respecter of a person. You have seen today that the Most High allows all kinds of spirits to roam around. So those things you see, those shrines and those things you see, there are spirits there, and the Most High allows them to be. Now, there's one that you and I are very familiar with, that is very popular, called Alosi. Alosi is a spirit. Alosi in Igbo land is not a bad thing. Alusi is a good spirit. But today, people consider it as an evil spirit. Alusi only kills those who are guilty. It depends on what you did when somebody reports you there. As long as your hands are clean and you're not guilty, it will not. The spirit will not do anything to you. Remember that the Messiah is one that allows all the spirit to be. He allows them to be. Now, you as a lawkeeper is not supposed to go there and go start worshiping that spirit. That would be strange. That would be weird. That would be nonsense. Instead of you to worship the Creator, you're now worshiping a spirit. There are spirits around. We're not supposed to worship those spirits. Our ancestors walked with the spirit. The Most High God sent the spirit. Only why He sent the more spirit to come and help you in your relationship with Him. So you walk with that spirit. How? The spirit will, his job is to make things easy for you in that your relationship with Him. Remove obstacles. Remove things that will hinder your relationship with the Most High. But you have to be holy in order for that spirit to stay. Yeah, I didn't so. Our ancestors understood these things. That's why they were holy. That's why when a man, when his wife is seeing her period, his wife will go away and stay in her own house. Back then, let's say I live in this house. My wife can live here. This wife will live here. This wife will live here. And then I will have my Oziobi here, where we'll all come and have meetings. Where we'll all come and pray. My altar will also be there. If I have a visitor, they will come here. So if my wife, number one, is having her period, she will stay in her house. Our ancestors understood these things. So we as law keepers are not supposed to worship spirits. We do not worship spirits. We worship the Most High, who sent the Spirit. And your Bible tells you in Psalms chapter 34, verse 7, Psalms 34:7, that the Most High, the angel, the Spirit of the Most High encamps around the righteous and guards them, those that fear the Most High. So, as long as your hands are clean and you're innocent, and if somebody goes and tries to do charm on you, it will not work. I give an example, and I say it openly. There was a woman that did a charm on me. This elder was there the day I accused her. I called her husband. I said to her husband, this is what you, in fact, first of all, your wife did a charm on you. Your wife did a charm on you so that whatever she tells you, you will do. I told her, if you go home, tell your wife that I said so. And your wife is also trying to charm me. So he actually recorded that conversation and played it to her. And the day I went to their congregation, she came and I told her in her face that she did it, because I know she did it. But because of the Spirit of the Most High and because I'm being obedient to the Most High, she was not successful. If she was successful, by now I would have been living with her daughter with 2 or 3 children right now, and she will not be a lawkeeper. But she was pretending to be a lawkeeper in the beginning, just to get me to marry her. Why? Because of America. So I can bring her to America. So I told them what happened. So that's what the Spirit of the Most High does. If the Spirit of the Most High is with you, when someone does a charm to you, it's not going to work. Just like those people were trying to do charm on the Israelites, and the Most High told Balaam not to do it. Balaam was a native doctor. Balaam was a babalawo, native doctor. So when you sing that song, Ike o, Ike ni nebunke ya, Ike o, do you even know what you're singing? Do you believe that song? If you believe that all power belongs to God, if you're singing that all power belongs to Him, all power belongs to Him, do you actually believe that? Because if you believe that all power belongs to Him, then you will know that everything, yes, and He even says in the book of Isaiah, He said it in the book of Isaiah, I am the Lord, I create good and I create bad. I create the light, I create darkness. I create good and evil. They all come from me. He said it. He said it. And it's true. So yeah, if you're keeping the law, I'm not afraid somebody doing something to me. As long as I'm keeping the law. If I'm not keeping the law, then I'll be afraid. Because if somebody does something to walk. Because there are different spirits that are left around. And these spirits, they are demonic spirits. A lot of the native doctors you see today are working with demonic spirits. Seriously. A lot of native doctors work with demonic spirits. And they work with these spirits, and you can actually go to them and ask for something. They might even give it to you. But it will not last. It will only be for that person's destruction. You know? So somebody like Aqua, that native doctor, yeah, he works with the demonic spirits. Okay, so and then watch what happens. So he's very famous. He's famous and he does all these things, and yet he didn't know that you were going to come and arrest him. You see, so that's how demonic spirit works. Try and stay away from it. The only way to stay away from demonic spirit is to focus on keeping the commandments, so that you can have the real spirit, the Holy Spirit that will be with you. Demonic spirit cannot affect you in that case. Demonic spirits, they are not happy, they are not smiling, they are very, 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 they are not happy at all. They are very aggressive. Demonic spirits are very aggressive and they are angry. Their aggression is only towards lawbreakers. That's what they do. They possess, they destroy, they do all these things towards lawbreakers. And when they possess someone and the right person prays for that person, the demonic spirit will just leave. They will just leave. Because their job, whatever they're doing, they're doing for the Most High. They are working for the Most High. That's all. And the reason why you know it's true is with Saul. Saul was possessed with an evil spirit, right? He was being tormented. Who sent that spirit? The Most High. Yes. So, yeah, all praises to the Most High. So, any other question before we take a break? All right. So, we're going to take a break and we'll be back within the next, I would say, and then so that we're going to round up also. There are those, because we're supposed to close by 4. It's 12 minutes before 4 right now. 12 minutes. We started around that 12 that I told you. Okay, yes, that prayer that we're going to do. Yes. We're going to do it, of course. I get mayor. So we're going to round up. I need to round up with those who are online. Let's round up, and I thank the Most High that this was documented. For those that want to watch it, can come back and watch it, because this study is very important. This type of study is good so that we can have good understanding of our surrounding and our world that the Most High gave us. So we're going to close up right now. Those of you who are watching online, we'll be back online again. Actually, no, I'll be back on Telegram. So we'll be back on Telegram. So you can join us through Telegram. You can look around on my information. That's the post that I post. You'll see a link to follow the link to join us on Telegram. I will not be coming back on YouTube today. So this will only be it for YouTube. You can go back on YouTube and watch the one that we did yesterday, our meeting yesterday. So I'm not coming back on YouTube today. I need to close this one right now because we have to do other things that we need to do here. Within the next hour, I will be on Telegram for our worship on Telegram. So all praises to our Heavenly Father. May your peace and protection be upon you. If you do have, of course, as always, you're welcome to give me a call. We're going to take a break now, and we'll be back on Telegram for our online worship. All praises to the Most High.